I'm going to be talking about what I think are the 3 best or essential bits of run kit you can have. Now, this list can be as long as my arm, and it's quite personal. I'm not going to dive into creams, lotions, things that maybe make your feet a bit more comfortable and anti-chafe. Those are fairly personal. I'm going to just dive into what I have implemented for my athletes and myself over the last 20 years of racing, and I keep coming back to. Something might seem obvious, but I'm trying to make sure that you're at least covering your base. So if you're interested in this topic, listen in. All right, so of course you need some footwear, but however, that's quite debatable because if you remember the whole barefoot technology that came in, people were arguing against that. So let's just assume we all agree on footwear. But what I mean by that is having an analysis is probably the best if we went as a whole picture for footwear and a service, is making sure you have a correct type of footwear. So it can be a stability shoe, neutral shoe, width of the shoe based on your foot shape, and if you need some extra help in a shoe, potentially a guided insole, not a corrective orthotic always, unless you are requiring that from a medical point of view. The sock and the shoe make a combo for blisters, and fit is everything. You know how it feels when you're in a perfect type of fitted garment. You just feel great wearing it, especially when you've got to run 42 Ks, 56, or Comrades Marathon, 89 Ks. You're going to be on in your shoes a long time. So I think investing in analysis is probably the best 50 to 100 pounds that you can spend, because then you understand the mechanics of your body. Along with that, I like to make sure I have lace locks, so not elastic laces. I find that cramps the foot too much. The old school little slidey devices, there'll be an image shown on here where you trim the lace so it's not all flapping, and the idea is that your laces never come undone in a race. And believe me, you think you've tied them tight, they always come undone. So a little lace lock with the right functioning footwear, correctly fitted, you can't go wrong in terms of comfort and support in terms of biomechanical. So that is biomechanical. Of course, most of us have some sort of watch these days. Apple Watches, Garmin are one of the leading. You've got to have GPS. It can be a start-stop watch, but if we're going to be a bit serious about our training, and this is quite key. So I know you might say a lot of the watches are now wrist-based heart rate. They are wildly inaccurate because of the gaps between the optical lens and your skin. That's how it's taking your heart rate. You will find they're just all over the show, especially when you run faster or bike faster. And that's a no-go. So it's got to be a strap. Now, the traditional breast straps are actually phasing out. They give quite a lot of chafe, and also you've got to replace the battery every, 3-4 months. So for the last couple of years, I've been using a polar strap that goes around your bicep with a USB charger. It's super accurate because it's not moving around. It's optical as well, optical light, straight through the skin, and it's giving no fluctuation in heart rate. So those are the 2 bare minimums you've got to do for injury prevention, performance, and of course, tracking your training. Now, this is quite personal, a preference depending on your distance. Now, of course, you've got ultra runners maybe listening to this. They will have packs already which carry bottles and fueling compartments. Let's talk about the average runner up to a marathon distance, certainly triathletes as well. Okay. The more runners I speak to and do sweat testing with, the more I find out they go out for up to 2 hours of running without any fluid because they feel they don't need any nutrition or fluid. Yes, you can run 2 hours. You can probably run 3 hours with nothing. The idea is that you stack training on top of training, guys. So if you don't take out fluids in a warm environment, of course you're going to lose some sodium, some some hydration, some fluid in your blood plasma, and when you get back home, you'll replace it. But remember, you are trying to fuel yourself for the second session of the day, potentially, or tomorrow's morning session. You don't want to be on the back foot. So going out with some sort of really nice pouch that doesn't wobble around, you've got to find the brand that suits you, and always carry some nutrition. Obviously a 30-minute run, 45, you know you're going out and back on your 8K loop. Please don't carry any nutrition. But most people just fall short and they have to dive into the petrol station, down Coca-Colas. So being organized with some extra fuel, you never know, sometimes you might just want a couple little jelly babies, a gel, some sort of dates or nuts, and fluids with your hydration in is key. And I've done a whole video on hydration, what to put in your bottles as a guide. All right, so those are my 3 areas that I pretty much don't go without. There's of course additional equipment like visors and caps, and those are fairly personal and obvious, I find. If you enjoy that, follow some of my other videos, shoot me a message, I don't mind, on here or on Instagram, and I've got a couple of other gems that I can share with you. All right, thanks.